Alright, live stream. General Assembly is about to start. And we're gonna head there now. After it, let's figure out. Oh, there it goes. For some reason, decided to meet across the street. So I'm taking the computer. Yo, Brian. Brian, you going over GA? Right on. What's up, boss? What's going on? Oh, this is General Assembly.
What's that?
This is the General Assembly.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, proposing things and make a consensus on that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
you're more than welcome to join.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
Do-do. What's for dinner?
Oh, we're on video. Well, what's for dinner? It's not meat. As a vegan, I'm delighted. We have a lentil dish, which is mildly spicy and yummy, on top of what must be some basmati rice. And then it's accompanied by a pasta dish in a tomato sauce with what could possibly be mushrooms and onions. Because I've been so hungry and so devoid of, hi there.
You're
Because
working way too hard.
Because because I'm feeling a little overextended and so, unpresent. I barely noticed what I'm eating until you asked. Thank you.
Mic check!
To the best of your ability,
To the best of your ability,
can we form a semicircle?
can we form a semicircle?
Stay on the sidewalk.
Stay on the sidewalk.
Anyone that wants to be in the grass, stand out a little more. Stand out a little more.
Hey, man. Oh, you usually have live streaming?
Yeah, we're live streaming.
Hey, we're live streaming. This is going to be my first night doing something in the facilities group, so I'm very excited. I have no cards.
Welcome to camp.
Welcome to camp.
We have heard a lot
We've heard a lot
of communications
about
issues
issues
that are being identified by people at camp.
by people at camp.
We have made a note of
We have made a note of
every issue,
every issue,
and if we do not
and if we do not
discuss it tonight at the GA,
discuss it tonight at the GA,
we will let you know that I'm sorry. We will discuss it after the GA
we will discuss it after the GA
to make sure it is addressed
to make sure it is addressed
as quickly as possible.
as quickly as possible.
So if for some reason we do not address what you have brought to us,
we do not address what you have brought to us,
please let us know during the GA,
please let us know during the GA,
and we may ask
is less important
than what we have to discuss
than what we have to discuss
during the GA.
during the GA.
Does everyone have a consensus on that?
Does everyone have consensus on that?
I think we're close enough.
I
Okay.
have a point of process. Should we ask first before asking for consensus if anybody has any concerns?
We
or
will.
different things?
Okay, we're gonna take a moment. Mic check. We're gonna take a moment
We're going to take a moment
to review the consensus process.
to review the consensus process.
And I will ask Stephen to do that
I will ask Stephen to do that
right now.
right
So
So,
I'm really not used to this whole human mic thing.
I'm really not used to this whole human mic thing.
So tonight, I'm facilitating.
I'm
And I'm facilitating.
Chris is facilitating.
Chris is facilitating.
We have 3 stack takers. I would ask them to raise their hands right now.
Three staff takers.
Raise your hand right now.
So if throughout the GA,
If you're on the GA,
you have something to say,
you have something to say.
raise your hand
Raise your hand
and keep it up
and keep it up
until one of the stack takers
Until one of the stack takers
comes and acknowledges you.
comes and acknowledges you.
So I'm going to go over the basic consensus process that we are working with tonight.
I
So we're going to go over the basic consensus process that we are going to.
So the way this meeting will be run,
So the way this meeting will be run,
first, myself and Chris will go over the agenda we have for tonight.
first myself and Chris will go over the agenda we have for tonight.
Which consists of
which consists of
announcements from working groups
announcements from working groups
and proposals from either working groups or others.
and proposals from either working groups or others.
In the event of a proposal,
In the event of a proposal,
first we will hear the proposal,
first we will hear the proposal,
and then we will open up for discussion of that proposal.
then we will open up for discussion of that proposal.
It is during that period of time
It is during that period of time
that anyone with questions, comments, or concerns
Anyone with questions,
comments, or concerns
about the proposal
about the proposal
will bring them up.
will bring them up.
After all the comments, strike that. You're doing great. After everyone understands the proposal,
After everyone understands the proposal,
we will test for consensus.
we will test for consensus.
The first step of which
The first step of which
is asking for stand-asides.
is asking for stand aside.
If you stand aside,
If you stand aside,
that means
that means
potentially a couple things.
potentially a couple of things.
Either you just don't care,
Either you just don't care,
or you are not affected by the proposal, so you choose not to participate in making the decision. Did everyone get that? Sorry. Yes or no? Okay. And then we will ask for blocks.
then we will ask for blocks.
A block is a very serious thing
A block is a very serious thing.
and should only be used
It should only be used
if
if,
by that proposal passing,
by that proposal passing,
you cannot participate
you cannot participate
or feel that the movement is in danger.
or feel that the movement is in danger.
We will also hear if anyone has blocks,
If anyone has
will hear the concerns that cause the block.
We will hear the concerns that cause the block.
So that everybody knows the process that we went through to reach the decision that we did. Assuming that all blocks are things that we managed to get through. After that, we will ask for consensus. And is there questions?
I have a question. When will people be able to offer friendly amendments to proposals?
The question was,
The question was,
when will people be able to
when will people be able to
offer friendly amendments?
offer friendly amendments?
The answer is
The answer is,
during the discussion
during the discussion
of the proposal.
of the proposal,
When comments, concerns, and questions
the comments, concerns, and questions
are being brought up.
are being brought up.
I had a question.
I had a question.
Yeah, mic check. It's sort of a personal need at the moment.
It's sort of a personal need at the moment.
Last night, while helping set up,
Last night while helping set up,
my Android phone charger came up missing.
my Android phone charger came up missing.
Is there any way
Is there any way
that the group could come up with
that the group could come up with
a means for me to go to Cricket
a means for me to go to cricket
and get a charger?
and get a charger?
Is this the correct time to be having this sort of discussion?
Is this the correct time to be having this sort of discussion? No.
10 p.m.
Okay, I didn't know.
Well,
I
we'll
wanted
talk
it to
about
be
it.
because it's going to deal with money. I wanted everybody to hear it, so I
Wait,
didn't want
wait,
to.
We'll talk about it
Okay.
after.
Okay.
Are there any questions
Any questions
About the consensus process.
about the consensus process?
I have a phone charger. I have a car charger for Android.
The question was, will we be able to use the no signal?
Yesterday it was decided.
Yesterday it was decided
that we will not be using the no signal.
that we will not be using the no signal.
So I mean, if that happens, let me know. I'll take
So,
it down and drop it off for like an hour.
If you're, like, are you saying you want to use the no signal as a block or to express concern about a proposal?
I spoke to Calvin
I spoke to Calvin
about how important it is
about how important it is
to show minorities
to show minorities
that might disagree
that might disagree
with group decisions.
with group decisions.
If such no's
If such no's
are not addressed,
are not addressed,
resentment builds.
resentment builds.
My question is,
My question is,
how is that different
how is that different
from bringing up concerns
from bringing up concerns
during the discussion of the proposal?
during the discussion of the proposal?
It was proposed
It was proposed
that consensus
that consensus
would be about 75%
would be about 75%
of the group.
of the group.
How are we going to judge
How are we going to judge
such relative proportions
such relative proportions
if we can't see no's?
if we can't see no's?
It's always a guesstimate
It's always a guesstimate
to some extent.
to some extent.
But this process
This process
has been tested
has been tested
across the country.
across the country.
No's have been found
No's have been found
to be very important.
to be very important.
Otherwise, some people
Otherwise, some people
simply disengage.
simply disengage
Those no's can't be expressed.
until the no's can't be expressed.
Is the idea that
Is the idea that
either a person says stand aside,
Says stand aside.
no or yes,
no or yes?
no one not signaling. Sorry.
A question,
May I do a question real quick? I was not here
I was not here
at the General Assembly yesterday
at the General Assembly yesterday
when the decision was made
when the decision was made
to remove the no signal.
to remove the no signal.
May I ask somebody
I asked somebody
to do a quick review
to do a quick review
as to why that was voted in?
as to why that was voted in.
What I feel is that having a consensus only requires the three terms.
Okay, I need someone that's going to answer my question. What happened?
To answer Chris's question, it was just for expediency in voting.
Just for expediency in voting.
So may I propose
May I propose
at the 9th General Assembly
at the 9th General Assembly
that we vote again
that we vote again
to include the no signal?
to include the no signal.
Do we have consensus on having a consensus?
Being able to vote no
Being able to vote no
is a very important part of the democratic process.
is a very important part of the democratic process.
And to get rid of that, even if addressing concerns,
To get rid of that, even if addressing concerns,
seems to be the wrong way to go.
seems to be the wrong way to go.
Being able to vote against a proposal
Being able to vote against a proposal
is a basic part of all parliamentary procedure.
is a basic part of all parliamentary procedure.
Mike check. The reason why this issue hadn't been resolved
This issue has been resolved
before we came to General Assembly
before we came to General Assembly.
is that the facilitation working group
That the facilitation working group
did not have time
did not have time
to address these concerns
to address these concerns
in our meeting this evening.
in our meeting this evening.
No, just to clarify,
Just to clarify,
nobody's concerns
nobody's concerns
were being ignored.
were being ignored.
We just didn't have time.
We just didn't have time.
I just want to say that I think that the dismissal, whatever, is important as long as we're making sure that we're not dismissing important issues based on what certain people think are important and what other people think aren't important. You don't have to repeat that. I'm sure you all heard it. I just, want to say that.
There's a point
That
of
makes
process.
sense or not.
I'm sorry about that. What I was trying to say was that there isn't going to be
There's going to be a
dismissal of anyone's opinions.
A
dismissal of anyone's opinions.
What the no signifies
What the no signifies
is someone's own personal
someone's own personal
dislike of it,
dislike of it,
which is supposed to be used for the
which is used for the
standards. A block should be used if you have a serious concern
should be
used if you have a serious concern
about the safety of yourself
about the safety of yourself or others,
or if you think that it's going to hurt the movement.
or if you think that it's going to hurt the movement.
It's a very sense of that. It's a very sense that we could come to a solid agreement upon whether or not yes and no, whether or not no is to be used at all for the full CAs, both the 7 and the 10 o'clock ones, so that this problem does not continue and take up more time at every CA.
I know people have questions, but let me try to say something.
Yeah.
Mic check.
Mike,
I don't want to, I know people have questions.
I know you have questions.
Let me say something first.
Let me say something first.
Part of the consensus process
Part of the consensus process
that we agreed to at the first GA
that we agreed to at the first GA
includes presenting a proposal,
includes presenting a proposal,
opening up for questions and concerns,
opening up for questions and concerns,
and friendly amendments.
and friendly amendments.
Once we are confident
Once we are confident
that we have answered questions,
that we have answered questions,
addressed concerns,
addressed concerns,
and considered friendly amendments,
and considered friendly amendments,
we will ask for consensus.
we will ask for consensus.
As Stephen stated,
As Stephen stated,
the first part is stand-asides,
the first part is stand-asides,
where you do not feel
where you do not feel
that your disagreement
that your disagreement
is strong enough
is strong enough
that if the proposal passes,
that if the proposal passes,
it would be a serious issue.
it would be a serious issue.
The second part
The second part
is asking for blocks.
is asking for blocks.
Blocks are serious
Blocks are serious
and should be used if people
and should be used if people
feel their concerns have not been addressed
feel their concerns have not been addressed,
and that the proposal should not be put for consensus,
and that the proposal should not be put for consensus,
which would then stop the consensus process at that point.
which would then stop the consensus process at that point,
And we would table the proposal
and we would table the proposal
after further discussion.
after further discussion.
However,
However,
if we do not have any blocks,
if we do not have any
we
blocks,
move to consensus.
we move to consensus.
People can vote yes.
People can vote yes.
People should be able to
People should be able to
vote no.
vote no.
What that means is they will vote no,
What that means is they will vote no,
meaning they have a disagreement,
meaning they have a disagreement,
but it's not considered serious enough
but it's not considered serious enough
to have blocked it.
to have blocked it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
We had one down here, and got her with a second person, so right here.
I just wanted to point out.
I just wanted to point out
that we seem to be conflating
that we seem to be conflating
consensus with voting,
consensus with voting,
which are actually very different things. In
which are
fact,
very different things.
they're the opposite of each other,
In fact, they're the opposite of each other,
both in theory and practice.
both in theory and practice.
So earlier somebody said
So earlier somebody said
that we removed the no
that we removed the no
for expediency in voting,
for expediency in voting,
and if that's why we removed it,
and if that's why we removed it,
then we need to pay a little bit more attention to our process,
then we need to pay a little bit more attention to our process.
because that means that we're not using consensus.
Because that means we're not using consensus.
I have a comment here and then a comment there. And then
I see. I feel like
okay, we're gonna see it to right here.
Mic check.
Mike, check.
My understanding
My understanding
of the removal of the no yesterday
of the removal of the no yesterday
is that it was a smaller group
was that it was a smaller group
and it was easy to assess
and it was easy to assess
whether a proposal
whether a proposal
had met the 75% mark.
had met the 75% mark.
That signifies consensus.
That signifies consensus.
It's a good idea
It's a good idea
in this much larger group
in this much larger group
to definitely show the no's
to definitely show the no.
so as to distinguish them from stand-asides.
As distinguished from stand-asides.
I also suggest as a friendly amendment
I also suggest a friendly amendment
in this large and low light condition
in this large and low light condition
that the yeses
that the yeses
and the noes
and the noes
be counted each in their own process.
Be counted each in their own process.
And we'll use the same signal so they can be seen. So it would be, can we see the yeses?
It would be, can we see the yeses?
And then can we see the no's?
And then can we see the no's?
Friendly amendment.
I was wondering if we could take a consensus on whether to keep the no's. And if we have enough people that agree, we can move on. We have consensus on that.
We didn't hear questions, comments, and concerns from that proposal, did we?
But that's good proposal.
Well, this is a successful proposal. Oh, okay.
We have comments. We had a comment. There. Want some rice?
No, I'm good.
No more comments in that corner, is that correct?
Oh, wait, sorry, his hand was up. Sorry.
Yeah? It's your turn.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of this comes down to a fundamental problem of people keep conflict.
I think this comes down to a fundamental problem.
That from the start, people have been saying we're using a consensus process.
And from the start, people have been saying we're using a consensus process.
When we're using a modified voting process,
In
in an actual consensus process, there is no need for no's.
an actual consensus process, there is no need for no's.
Because concerns are addressed through a very specific proposal and
Because
way of doing
concerns are
things.
addressed through a very specific proposal.
Way of doing
things.
Unfortunately, the way that this has been being done since the start
Unfortunately, the way this has been being done since the start
is not that.
is not that.
And because of that,
There
needs to be a way for people to recognize their dissent.
There
needs to be a way for people to recognize their dissent.
It does not work to simply ask people for no's after something has been agreed to.
It does not work to simply ask people no after something has been agreed to.
Every time I've seen that, once the room sees that the proposal has gone through,
Every time I've seen that, once the room sees that a proposal has gone through,
who wants to be the couple people saying, oh, actually, I disagree with that?
who wants to be the couple of people saying, oh, actually, I disagree with that?
And even beyond that, repeatedly, even in this meeting and previous meetings, concerns, suggestions, amendments are not being asked for, and people just can continually keep
Concerns, questions, amendments have not been being asked for,
and people just say, so we have consensus,
and people just say, so we have consensus,
and try to move on.
and try to move on.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
There needs to either be
There needs to either be
an actual consensus process
an actual consensus process
or an actual modified voting process.
or an actual modified voting process.
May I ask you one question? May I ask a question?
May I ask a question?
Which meeting
Which meeting
did you feel there was no consensus process?
did you feel there was no consensus process?
Virtually all of them,
Virtually all of them,
maybe with the slight exception of the one that Stephen facilitated.
maybe with the slight exception of the one Stephen facilitated,
But in general, not really any of them so far.
not really any of them so far.
Duly noted.
Duly noted, and thank you.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Is this really the appropriate time
Is this really the appropriate time
disputing the semantics of
to be disputing the semantics of
the word voting and the word consensus?
the word voting and word consensus?
And should we all agree
We all agree
that we want our voices to be heard and considered,
that we want our voices to be heard and considered,
and that
And that
yes symbol.
yes
relevant, and the no's are also relevant, but can be discussed at the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
Keep going, keep going.
I don't know if anyone heard that. I was going to try to like
Move the meeting on.
That's what I'm going.
well,
I'm not so
I do have a concern. About how friendly amendments are being addressed. One of the gentlemen made a friendly amendment, and it was glossed over. I feel there needs to be a system in place. How friendly amendments can be added.
Mic check. That was my fault. I forgot to mention that friendly amendments, when they are made, will be either accepted as a friendly amendment by the person who made the proposal, or not. If not, the friendly amendment can either be withdrawn or become a separate proposal. Yes. Does that make sense? Are people getting a better sense of the process we're using?
Okay.
Do we have more stuff?
We don't have more stack. I think there is a consensus among the facilitators that the process needs to be tightened up. Better than it has been. And it will be. And we all thank you. For pointing it out. Wait, he did have. Now he does. Sorry, then you're next.
Can also be used for recycled answers. And recycled questions.
I'd like to propose
I'd like to propose
that the GA's decision yesterday to have no no's, as in do not use no's, stands until further discussion at some point later. And we move this meeting on now.
Are there any So we've got, before I'm even asking for questions, comments, and concerns, I'm seeing block. So can I hear the block?
Yeah, I'm becoming very disillusioned with this whole process. You have to have no's. To have people's voice heard. There's no point continuing to bicker about this. We are nitpicking and stalling.
Point of process. Can we do that in the earlier proposal we do use those? Mic check. Can we test for consensus? On the previous proposal. That we do use those. And forego any more conversation. Until we do that consensus vote.
Is this the consensus vote on that?
Okay, can we have the no?
Can we have the no?
Thank you.
Do we have any no's?
If you disagree,
Excellent.
make your friends know. Seriously.
I'm the only one. So don't worry
May also reiterate, or repeat, may also reiterate that 75% means 75% did this. 25% did this. Therefore, it may not have a bearing. For the proposal passing. But we can still note. People's disagreement with this. Is that more clear?
Thank you. Yes.
Gentlemen.
Mike
Mike
check.
check. Mike check.
A lot of people want to move this along. But this is day 3, guys.
This is day 3, guys.
We could be here all winter. We could be here all year.
We could be here all winter. We could be here all year.
So getting this process down. Really isn't that much of a pain right now, is it? Because it's going to save hours or months or however long.
It's going to save hours or months or however long.
So, mic check. So we have a process to use. For now. We're going to move on with the meeting now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, may I please?
Mike check. So did the proposal pass or not? Did no proposal pass?
No proposal passed with resounding yeses.
No, wait. Tim?
We can vote no.
We have a point process.
We should
Point
be
process.
asking, are there any no's?
Thank you. To give us all a
Point of process.
Was the friendly amendment accepted or rejected by whoever? Mike check. Was the friendly amendment? Accepted or rejected? By the person who made the proposal to include the no's.
I believe the concern was voting no's are difficult to see because they're way down here. Whereas if we say, are there any yeses, we all go like that.
The friendly
But as for
amendment
those
was to ask for yeses and no's separately.
Yes, I'm using the same hand signal.
Mike check.
Mike check.
Was that your
Point of process.
I originally put the proposal forward to include the no's. So I will reject the friendly amendment on having 2 separate votes of yeses then no's because it would be difficult to find out true consensus and compare side to side yeses and no's. However, I believe we should take time and have facilitators look at everybody to make sure there is as accurate account of yeses and especially no's. So we feel confident that we have counted correctly. Would that be acceptable? Yes. Like I said, if we do not have yeses and no's next to each other, we cannot tell how many people make up 75% and make up 25%. I wanted to make sure
I think it will.
the sign of that friendly amendment. We gave him the option to enter it as a proposal or not. Was that what we agreed was a process? Was that what we agreed? Well,
That is the process.
Did we get into
Would you like to offer it as a separate proposal?
No, I don't need to offer a separate proposal. I'll talk with the facilitation committee about maybe other ideas about what might help.
Okay, so I'll repeat we said it, okay? He said He said. Then he'll have a discussion. With the facilitators. After the GA. To address his concerns. Straw poll if that's okay with everyone. He said he is, but I just want to make sure everyone's understanding.
If you're counting the votes anyway, why does it matter if they're side by side?
I may answer.
I may answer.
It's actually easier.
It's actually easier
to see someone doing this.
to see someone doing this.
Someone doing this.
Someone doing this.
This is my opinion, by the way.
This is my opinion, by the way.
If it's at the same time.
If it's at the same time.
This comes from experience.
This comes from experience.
Being up on a stage at the previous General Assembly.
Up on stage at the previous General Assemblies.
It is hard to count.
It is hard to count
the yeses.
the yeses.
Then have the no's. Try to figure out. Conceptually, if you pictured it correctly. That's just my opinion.
Mic check. We have to cut off. I have to cut off stat on this. On this conversation, because we need to move forward. With this General Assembly. The consensus process takes time. To be fully internalized. By the people using it. And I would urge people. To read up on it. Practice it, and continue coming to these General Assemblies. Is your hand up to continue this conversation, which I just cut off stat for? Is it something that's on the agenda?
We don't even know what we're going
That's because we haven't gotten a chance to say it, because this conversation hasn't ended.
It's a suggestion for what you just said.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Mic check?
Mic check.
I think it would be a good idea. To have a consensus workshop way later, like tomorrow. Like start it have it like half an hour before the GA. So people who want to learn can do that.
Just if we eliminate, stay in the sides.
Okay, mic check. Chris is going to go over the agenda.
Thank you, Chris.
We're going to start with something easy.
We're going to
And get some announcements. But not proposals. From some of the working groups. May I please have media? With their announcements.
All right. Mic check.
Mic check.
My name is Jonathan. I'm with the Media Working Group. First, we want to explain what it is that we do. At least in the most basic sense. We are not liaisons to the corporate media. We are our own media. We are the ones that are communicating with the outside world. We are doing this in a number of ways. We are doing it through our website. Of OccupyPittsburgh.org. We are doing it through social media. Such as Facebook. And Twitter. We are also creating the live streams. Like this one right here. That is what we do. We would also like to announce that the media tent is closed to only the people in the media group or who have dealings with the media group. as we are having a very difficult time, keeping our tent organized, and our people productive. There are a couple of more. At this point for volunteers, we are taking names. We do not know what exactly it is we need. More or less. We are currently in the process of defining the roles and the needs for the media group. We will have tomorrow after the action that will be taking place in the mornings, an open house of sorts for those who are interested in helping us out. We also have two liaisons to the camp at large. Those are me and David. If you have concerns that need to be brought to the media, in the sense of what we spoke about earlier, as to what it is that we do, please see us. This includes any working groups or calls for supplies for needs from the community. Thank you.
Next we have
Pam.
from the sanitation staff. Of BNY Mellon, who has been cleaning our area, and would like to invite us. Something. Hi, Pam.
First of all, forgive me if I don't do this right.
Keep it so.
And second of all, if nobody from any form of working families have thanking you for being here and doing what you do, if nobody from any working families has thanked you for being here and doing what you do, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am SEIU, Service Employees International Union.
I am SEIU, Service Employees International Union.
And I'm a janitor. Sanitation sounded a little fancy. And I believe that we are all in the same fight. This past summer, I was with One Pittsburgh. Informing the public of everything that you stand for right now. Which is against corporate greed, of course. And making them or pushing them to pay their fair share. And right now, the janitors are in a contract fight for affordable health care and increase in wages to pay for their bills, gas, everyday livelihood. While huge CEOs are getting bonuses. These skyscrapers, our janitors are there. Struggling. When the CEOs again.
Big money.
So we would like to invite you. To join us. In a rally. This Thursday the 20th. At the City County Building.
This Thursday is not the 20th.
Because Thursday's not.
Oh, no, never mind. I have phone buttons for that.
All right.
At the City County building.
To tell corporate America. We deserve better.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, 3 p.m.?
3 p.m.
Calvin has flyers. And we would like to give these sleeping bags to you.
Oh,
Yes. Awesome.
So this is going to be an announcement.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick announcement on behalf of the medic tent. Before we move on. The medics have asked for additional donations of toilet paper, lip balm with SPF, Dr. Bronner's soap, and diapers. They have everything else in large quantity at this point. So if you could donate those, or have others donate those items, that would be helpful. Also, with the arrival of the porta potties, they ask that you try to keep them clean. And that's it. So now we're going to hear from food.
We actually have
a question.
I would just like to say that. There's 3 extra rolls of toilet paper.
There's 3 extra rolls of toilet paper
In the comfort tent. Buried beneath a bunch of other clothes. On the right side when you first walk in.
This is going to be an announcement.
Yay, food.
Woo!
First of all, I want to thank every single one of you. For all the compliments you've given us. We're really trying hard. To please everyone. And it really means a lot that you like our food. Alright, down to business. I'm gonna try to have dinner every night at 6. That means hot food. There's gonna be snacks. All day long. So remember to eat healthy. Stop eating all the cookies. Bars. Eat some granola. Every morning, I'm gonna try to get my butt up. To make you big pots of hot coffee. We're in the process. Of getting big, huge coffee containers. These are either like thermoses, like the big ones. Or ones that we can actually brew out of. But gins are getting cowboy coffee until that happens. Also, we need people to join the food group.